Hi, my name's Dave Jones. I'm an independent financial advisor. I was recommended to Geraldine by a friend of hers. Geraldine wanted some financial advice. In the course of my discussions with Geraldine, she told me her story. The short film you're about to see is Geraldine telling that story in her own words.
Hi, my name's Geraldine. I live in North Wales, not far from Wrexham. I recently came in contact with Dave through a friend of mine. Dave came to give me some advice on several things, and it's been great. Through our discussions, we talked about where I was at the moment and how I got there, and I offered to do this for Dave, just so anybody out there who ends up in my situation will know that it can actually happen, and he'd be a good person to talk to. So this is my story. 19 years ago, I was married with 2 young children, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, mortgage, everything was going fine. Sadly, my husband was diagnosed with cancer in the July and died in the November. Very emotional time, obviously, but to everybody's relief, the first thing on everybody's mind was, oh, well, at least the house is paid for. And like most people, we protected our mortgage. We had no income protection. We did discuss it, we never actually got around to it. So you think at first, you're okay, your house, your mortgage is covered. Unfortunately, things sink in that all the other bills are still going to be coming in. Your gas, your electric, all your utility bills, as well as your everyday living expenses. This is very, very difficult. I did receive a small pension, very small, because it's heavily taxed. So, and I did receive some state benefit, a widow's allowance, but that by no means covers half the costs of what I would then incur. So it ended up that I had to then juggle childcare costs with 3 part-time jobs. I also had a daughter that was very ill, so I had to have a lot of time off work. And because the jobs were part-time, I didn't get sick pay. My daughter was at school, so her childcare cost wasn't as expensive because she was cared for during the day. But school holidays, both children, childcare had to be covered for both of them. Again, expensive. If I'd had some extra protection, so that I had even £1,000 a month coming in, I wouldn't have had to juggle 3 jobs. Emotionally, it would have been a lot less stressful because I wouldn't have had not only the grieving process and supporting the children emotionally, but also I wouldn't have to worry about getting to jobs, juggling everything around. It would have made a huge difference to me. As it was, I did have to juggle 3 jobs around. I did have to juggle childcare and the costs. I also didn't drive at the time, so I had to find the time and the money to learn to drive, to buy a car, plus the running costs of the car. I was a stay-at-home mum, so I had to think about getting employment again, a better paid job, 1 job rather than juggling 3. So I went back to night school and retrained. Again, more costs. And you know, we've come through it. I now have 1 full-time job. My children are growing up now. My daughter went to university, which was another financial struggle. I had nothing in place to provide for this. My son went to college, he's got through that. So there's a lot of things to think about. You do think, oh, I'll get my mortgage protected, I'll be fine, but please do think further than that, think long term. Dave told me there's a policy that will pay out an income if someone should die. I can't tell you what a huge difference that would have made to me and my children if only Ted had had that cover.